why I stopped calling myself African American. Hey yo, what's up with y'all, man? It's the Melanated Captain here, man. What's up with y'all? Please like, comment, and subscribe. Today, we have a woman stating she is not calling herself African American anymore. Why I stopped calling myself African American, Miss Candice. Hello, Miss Candice. I'm gonna subscribe to you right there. And I'm sorry for not subscribing to the other people, but let's get into this.
Talk a little bit about why I stopped calling myself African American, and no shade to the continent of Africa or Africans. I have no issue with them whatsoever for existing and being in the world.
None of us do. Let's clear that up. Let me double down on that. None of us have a problem with Africa, bro. None of us have a problem with Africans or Africa. Don't like calling y'all that because y'all didn't name yourself that. Just like we didn't name ourselves American. But no problem with Africa.
But this is just more my personal belief, so if you don't like it, you can keep scrolling. For one, I feel like the label wasn't built for us, that ethnonym of African American, and we've had quite a few of those. That one specifically was built for a narrative. It was more of a framing, and I am 100% convinced that narrative never served us as people from this land. Also, I'm not, comfortable with participating in my erasure. So that's another reason that I'm not comfortable with that. And if you think about how other groups get to be specific, like Polish Americans or Korean Americans or Cuban Americans or what have you, all of those people groups get to be very specific. And each one of those names actually carries real information, culture, language, region, something tangible, something you can hold on to. But African American, so first of all, we know that Africa is a continent with 54 countries, thousands of distinct ethnic groups who are as different as French people are to Japanese people. It's such a wide variety.
Yes, and all these people with the Polish American, Korean American, these people either are actually coming from the land or they have attachment to people in the culture of that land. And most of us don't have any attachment to Africa. Not saying we're trying to distance ourselves from Africa. We're just stating the actual facts. Most of us don't know nobody from Africa, never been to Africa, and we don't practice African cultures.
So then, which Africa? Which culture? Which country? What about it? And nobody ever really has a clear answer about that. And I think that vagueness has been very convenient for a very long time. Because when you tie our people to a continent versus specifically to this soil, that makes us vague. And vague people are easier to manage, easier to control, easier to revise history, easier to lump together, easier to flatten, and so on. But more importantly, being called vague makes it more difficult for a people group to make a specific claim. But we are a very specific people group. Our ethnicity is not a vague ethnic group. And if you think about it, we are the descendants of people who survived, and I mean survived in every sense of the word survived, and even to this day continue to survive and thrive. And we've had an experience that no other people group went through in the same way specific to this land.
Yeah, the
Our
things they said
lineage
that we went through on this
produced
land
some.
is some of the most cruel, atrocious things that ever have been done to a group of people. And that's saying a lot when you got people like Stalin and all the genocide that happens in Africa to say that we were the most cruel. That's saying a lot. So, and I wanted to say, is it just cruel on the people that survived, or cruel like in the same way as murdering? Because the genocide over there is actually very, very, very crazy and very underreported.
Something specific, a culture, a way of seeing the world, right? A creativity and a resilience that the entire globe borrows, by the way. Our culture here was built under conditions that was, meant to destroy it. And it didn't get destroyed. In fact, it became the foundation of just about everything. And we get to pop our collar a little bit about that. I'll give a small example, music. Okay, jazz didn't start in Africa. Blues didn't start in Africa. Hip hop did not start in Africa. They were born here with our
Yes, and I
group
don't like
in
when
these
other
lands.
cultures try to take credit for that. Just because our culture has the power to spread out into the world, and you might have grown up on hip hop or R&B or one of our cultures, that's not your culture, right? That's not your culture. You are borrowing or using our culture, and we have no problem with that. But don't try and take credit for something that was born in fucking New York.
Very specific situations and a very specific genius. Another example, our language. And I'll say Ebonics as one of the many different things that we do that continues to have influence, not AAVE, because even that specific academic term wants to root us somewhere else. Ebonics grew here from our specific people and our specific land under our specific conditions. And every time we accept a label that relocates us, right, that makes us from over there than from right here, it makes it harder for us to have specific claims. And we are participating in our
I mean,
own
you are. I
erasure.
mean, in a way,
If
I
we
can
call
see
our
why she's saying that. Because we are American. You know what I'm saying? We are American. We've never been to Africa. Matter of fact, the word Africa. I mean, we've been here longer than the word Africa has been invented. I believe so. You know, matter of fact, let me see something real quick. We'll check that at the end of the video.
ourselves African American, then what? It gets complicated, right? It gets vague. The argument becomes, well, you came from somewhere else. You're a visitor. Notwithstanding the fact that we're not even Africans. But we are a specific ethnic group formed here, on the soil here, through very specific, brutal, and documented history here. So the answer is clear. This is our land. This is our country. And this country owes us. We still have unfinished business with this government, specifically for specific things. And I'm not asking you to, forget your ancestry and all of that. I'm not asking that at all. Keep it all. But what I am asking is for us to hold on to the specificity that our ancestors and our elders held the line for here. The culture, our culture, is in our hands. And we have a responsibility to keep it and safeguard it. Because the more broader and more vague our ethnic identity gets, the easier it is for everybody else to benefit from it without returning anything to us. Nothing. The music, the language, the food, the culture, the fashion, the agricultural knowledge, the military service, the spiritual traditions, the way we worship, our essence, the way we organize, the way we unite, the civil rights strategies that became models for the entire world to follow, the way we create community, the way we turn struggle into art, the way we turn limitation into innovation. One might even argue that our culture is innovation. The whole global idea of cool, that belongs to us. That's ours, built here, by specific people. Acknowledging that is not a rejection to our ethnic identity. If anything, it's a proclamation. Be honest.
Appreciate that word. And before we get into this, I just don't understand why only the black man in America gets this, bro. I don't see y'all saying that to Cuba, Brazil, Colombia, Jamaica, when 95% of the slaves went there, bro. Right? So the little bit of people that did come here, bro, they were mixing with the people here, bro. All right? If they're not already the people here, they were mixing with the people here, becoming a different ethnic group altogether.